doing? My name is Terrance Clayton.
And my name is Loretta Clayton.
And basically, we just want to let you guys know a little insight about ourselves and how we came together and how we live, basically.
So we've been together for about, it'll be 14 years. We were dating for about 10 years. We got married July 20th, 2013. And I met him right out of high school. So it's kind of funny because he didn't actually know my real age, but it was my first job at McDonald's where I met him. And I think I told him I was 16, but really I was like 15 and a half with a worker's permit at McDonald's. And I met him, and from there, it's just, for me, it was love at first sight. I don't want to speak for him, but, you know, it was like, he's a little bit older than me, and he was just the man of my dreams from the moment I met him. We were dating for a few years and decided to get a little bit more serious. And so from there, we decided to start planning our family, you know, starting to plan our future as we became to love each other more. I think, I'm not for certain what year it was, but
2010, something like that.
Yeah, 2010, I would say. And our first year or two trying to have a child, that I finally realized that something wasn't right. Something wasn't right for me. And so I went into the doctor, and that's when they let me know that both my fallopian tubes were blocked from scar tissue. So from there, we went in and had a fallopian laparoscopy to try to clear out my scar tissue. And after that, we didn't really have any success from there because I still had scar tissue in both of my fallopian tubes. The doctor told me that because I still have scar tissue, that I would still have a low percentage of getting pregnant on my own. So, you know, that still didn't deter us. We still decided to go ahead and, you know, believe in God, have our trust in God, and continue to try to have a family.
And explore different avenues also at the same time. So the doctor actually wanted to remove her other fallopian tube. We had a tubal pregnancy, and that was kind of rough, but like she said, we pushed through, and we never give up hope, and hopefully we get a blessing one day.
So like you said, yeah, the laparoscopy, bilateral laparoscopy happened, I think back in 2007, 2006. We continued to try, and we finally got married July 20th, 2013. For me, that was my next happiest day of my life. You know, we were starting a new chapter together, and we were going forth together, and we were still, you know, trying to have a family. After we got married, I would say in October, I found out I was pregnant in October, you know, and at that point, that was my happiest day of my life. You know, I was overjoyed. It was just so many emotions running over me because the doctors for years and years had told me that I would never be able to have a child. Yeah. And so I was just really happy. But in the back of my mind, I knew that there was a high chance that I would have an ectopic pregnancy. And so, you know, I waited just to see if my body received any signs that I need to go to the doctor. When I thought that I was in the clear, I went to get my first ultrasound, of what I was thinking of my first ultrasound. And my husband was at work, and I decided to go on my own because I wanted to come home and surprise him. I don't remember me ever telling him that I was pregnant because I was just scared of the disappointment. So I kind of wanted it to be a surprise. So I went to the doctor on my own just to confirm my pregnancy. But you know, I was waiting in the waiting room, and the doctor said, "Loretta, there's a problem. We can't find the baby at all, when I was getting my ultrasound done. And I said, well, we confirmed the pregnancy. Why can't you find it, Just looking on the screen, we're looking. And they called a second doctor in. And I said, well, what's wrong? And they said, well, I think we ran into what we've been fearing this whole time, is that the baby is stuck in your fallopian tube. And for how long you have waited, you can die at any minute. And I said, what, what's going on? What's the problem? And he said, we have to rush you out to emergency surgery right away. And I said, I can't do that, I understand what the doctors are telling me, but my husband isn't here. My husband was at work. I called him. I actually left the doctor's office. They were very upset, trying to get me to stay. But I said, I have to put my trust in God, and I have to move forward on His word, on His faith. And so I said, well, you can't rush me off to surgery. I know that I'm pregnant. I have to continue to keep my faith. I said, I have to wait until my husband gets here. I can't do anything without my husband. And the next day, that's when I went back to the doctor, and they did rush me into surgery then. And they terminated the pregnancy. They said I was about maybe 3 months. And along with terminating the pregnancy, they removed my left fallopian tube. And so, that day is just...
It was a scary day.
Yeah.
The doctor actually said that this was the worst case that he has ever seen. And he was surprised that she didn't die or get real sick and have to be in the hospital. And she wasn't in no type of pain. So that was a blessing also, that she just escaped with her life.
Every day from the day that I knew that I was pregnant back in October, I prayed and I prayed. And I said, I was thanking God, like, thank you for, just letting this blessing come to me. Thank you. And I think, I know that He shielded me from any type of pain. I know that, He gave me faith that that God can work all things out through Him. And so I know He shielded me from the pain, because even so, to this day, when I go into doctors and to checkups and things like that, I have to have, I don't have to, but there are several doctors in the room with me, because they want to know. They always ask me questions. Loretta, how can you have survived that long with no pain? But, throughout the whole 3 months, and, this other learning doctors in the room with me, they actually still have my fallopian tube and things like that for study. So I'm like, they're always in the room with me, asking me all kind of questions. But that day absolutely changed my life forever. Not just knowing initially that I would have trouble having kids, but it's just something, knowing for one that I could have died. On another hand, knowing that God performs miracles. And then I think from that moment on, I was a new wife. I'm still growing into my motherhood that I thought that I was going to be, my womanhood. And from there, I think I just took like a deep dive. I'm a new wife, but not being able to, complete my family, it just gave me different emotions that I wasn't prepared to go through, that I didn't want to go through. And it took a lot in me. I had to start going to, I went to a few different counseling sessions. But my husband, I love him so much because he was there unconditionally. He was there every second, and just being so supportive. And, it's not one day that has gone by that, he's changed his love for me because of the things that I'm not able to do. Ever since then, that I had to reevaluate myself as a woman. I had to reevaluate myself as a wife, to know that, just to know that nothing is wrong with me. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of work because I had to learn that other women are going through the same issues. I know that God has put resources here for us, like this IVF grant, that we will be able to have a child. And, all in all, it just reassured my faith in God even more. If I ever have any questions in the past, that moment in my life and this situation right now to this day, I know that God is able to work it out for us. And so we're applying for this grant because, we know that God can still do it for us. God can still work it out. And we still pray and continue to try on our own to have our own family. But in the meantime, we utilize resources that God has given to us, like this grant. And, it's just such a blessing. And I want to be able to go forth and help other women that may be going through the same issue, just from start to finish, because no one was there for me from start. I didn't know. I kind of thought that I was the only woman in the world going through this. I didn't know that there were grants like this. I didn't know, the reasons behind it. I didn't understand why me. And I want to be there for other women also after this is all done and over with, just be a support for them.
As I said, my name is Terrance. This is my wife, Loretta. As far as infertility, I feel like it's a blessing and it's a curse at the same time, because it gets you closer to your mate when they're going through some of the worst times they ever going to go through in life. And it pull you all closer, but it's a curse because if you want to start a family, you can't at the time, you know what I mean? And it's like the emotional stress that your wife and you going through, it's like you don't even want to try no more. So it's like, it's a blessing because it strengthens your relationship. It's a curse because you can't do what you want. You can't create life, you know what I mean? And it's like you getting stripped of a right, you getting denied a privilege, a blessing, you getting denied. So I'm gonna love my wife regardless, whether or not we have kids or not, whether or not we get this grant or not. I love her a lot. I always have. But it will be a blessing from the Lord if we do get this grant. And we're going to strive for it every year regardless. Whether it's this grant or whether it's another grant, we're going to keep pursuing our outlets that we have to pursue. But I just wanted to let everybody know, don't give up. And, just keep pushing. That's all I can say.